Really, what do you know? I've been blessing people with this deep voice, this moist, hoping you understand that my music's top choice. Cultures and nations are starting to see that hip hop is crazily advanced. Poetry fluently is flown in like water, mentally reshaping you just like the new world order. What's the cause and effect? When I write some good lyrics, just the sound that you check. But no disrespect, but I question your intellect, thinking words don't matter because you can't comprehend, or the words spoke too fast. You need a listening class. Quality MC, son, will always amaze your ass. And every word that I write has seen the universe twice. I travel the planets making sure that I'm nice. So open up your ears, that's my advice. Cause this price is right, but there no reels on this fortune. Words and whammies will make you crush your luck. So I don't care about a Grammy, rather flow for my mammy. So step back and catch this verbal jammy. Cause these skills is real, and it's time you learn the deal. You need to listen to this flow. Cause the lyrics are important, and that's how we go.
What's up, good people? It's Eric Taylor, BigEAstrology. Knowledge is love. Episode 175. No jive. Give me 5. High five. How you doing? Well, you know what it is. Sagittarius Rising Sign Ascendant. Happy birthday, all you Sages. And in honor of that, who could I have with me tonight except for the Sagittarius rising sign herself, my mother-in-law, Miss Lauren.
Hello.
Say hi to everybody.
Hi.
And wait, we got to make sure they see you good. Get in there. There you go. And she is the true Sagittarius ascendant with Mars and the Sun and Mercury there in her ascendant now. She's getting ready for a big excursion. You want to tell everybody where you're going?
I'm going to Egypt on Tuesday.
See? Is that Mars in Sagittarius like you've never heard of before? I mean, come on, you can't make this up. So that's really cool. And, you know, listen, Sagittarius season is a special time for me. She's a Sag rising. My grandfather was a Sag sun. I have a Sagittarius cousin. I have like 2 or 3 Sagittarius good friends. My wife is a Sagittarius moon. Do you think Sagittarius is around me? That's a lot. That's a lot. Okay, so the mutable fire sign, I salute you. The Sagittarius, and people coming into the chat, say hello. The Sagittarius birth chart sale is on and rocking for Sagittarius sun signs. Happy birthday. Moon signs or rising signs, right? So you can get a natal birth chart reading, a solar return chart, which is showing the year of life coming up for you, especially for your Sag suns, right? And also secondary progression. So you may not be a Sag sun anymore. The birth chart is still valid always, but your soul could be vibrating as a Capricorn or Aquarius depending on your age right now, okay? So that's what's up with the Sag risings. Okay, we don't have anybody coming in. Okay, well, somebody's people watching, comment in the chat so I know that the live is the chat is working and all that good stuff. But so it's $100 for 60 minutes over Zoom. You could ask me live questions. You get videos of your planetary placements, or what I call the big shebang, a 40 to 50 minute custom video summary, which is a mini movie of your life, along with audio transit recording, current and future transits to your birth chart, plus videos of planetary placements. Normally $260, only $200. Super big sale for Sages. Because I love y'all. All right. So, all right. Okay. Well, we'll make sure. I don't know. We can't ask William if the chat is working. But yeah, hopefully the chat is live and working. You can just comment if you come on live. Let me know that you're here and the chizat. But I'm going to get started because when you look at Sagittarius rising signs, the first thing that you are looking for is the chart ruler, right? The first house. So she's an Aquarius sun, but she's a Sag rising. So before she enters a room, her Sagittarius ascendant That's really what's vibrating and magnifying and the energy that's coming out first. Our auric field is 6 feet apart, right? That's why during the pandemic, they want us to be 6 feet apart. It's not just because of spraying germs. That's the auric field. So people would see that Sagittarius rising before they would see her Aquarius sun sign. Capiche? Okay. So that's the Jupiter chart ruler. So what you have to do is look in your chart and locate the Jupiter. So whatever house your Jupiter is in, it puts an extra emphasis on those themes of life for you. Okay. Now, Sagittarius risings are naturally adventurous. They like freedom. It's Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising. It's still the bachelorette sign. So it could be hard to tie them down, or they could just be like, marriage after marriage. How many times were you married?
3.
There you go. And now she's making her big excursion to Egypt.
Looking for 4.
But
No.
looking for 4. But you got to have money. She's not marrying no broke man. But you moved. How many different states did you live in?
Not that many.
Well, New York, California,
Colorado, and
Arizona. That's a lot. There's some people who stay.
I'm old.
No, but there's some people who stay in the same city, same state, their entire lives. Okay, so you just never know. So being the Sag rising, I wonder.
I don't know. It's nothing's happening.
Yeah, I'm surprised because I think I know some people.
I'm not good enough to figure this out.
Hey, William, you want to see if the chat's working? I can't see it over here. I'm not sure. But so Sag risings, they love to learn, to explore, to spend time in nature, right? They're very optimistic. They can be fortunate, sometimes lucky. But for a Sag ascendant, they, it's like the sun's going to shine tomorrow. They're naturally optimistic. But they do like to learn things and gain knowledge.
It's true.
Yeah. And they also they see the big picture. They're not, remember, it's a mutable fire sign, so they're not narrow-minded. They really will like look at things and zoom out and be like, oh yeah, okay, I see what you're saying, and you know what I mean? But keywords are definitely freedom and adventure. Like you can't smother a Sag rising. They just have to kind of get up and go, whether they get on their bike or get in their car or just go for a walk or a hike. They need movement, right? You'll laugh because a lot of Sagittarius, and I see her do this sometimes, but I see it more with the sun signs. Sagittariuses, when they're on their cell phones, they can't sit still. They have to move. So they're like moving and talking on their cell phones and stuff like that. And okay, no, it's working now. Yeah, yeah, we got chat working now. So.
It's because you walked in.
Yeah. So, and so Sagittarius risings, they definitely are on the move when they're talking. You know what I mean? And they sometimes can be, and this is for all Sag placements. I'm going to keep it real with you. Sometimes you guys can be, exaggerators, storytellers, sometimes a little arrogant or blunt. They don't mean, it's not necessarily to be mean. They're like Aries, and these are all the fire signs. They're just very direct, right? Very passionate. But you'd be like, because I always give this as an example. If you ask a Virgo, do I look good in this shirt? A Virgo would be like, I like that shirt, but what if you wore green? It would bring out your eyes and this and that. You ask Sagittarius, do I look good in that shirt? They're like, no. It's just more like, matter of fact, they're just kind of blunt, It's just,
wife.
Yeah. They're like, no. You know what I mean? So that's the Sagittarius Sun, Moon, Rising energy. So that's the first house. So we'll get to the second house. You want to read some of these comments?
I am Amadi. Said hello, everyone. And Jolie.
Okay. Hey, how you guys doing?
I am a Sag rising, Cancer moon, Virgo sun, stellium.
Oh, okay.
Evelyn Torres is saying,
hey, Ev.
Is saying hello. And what did I miss?
Well, we're just talking about the ascendant and we're about to go to the second house. Just having some fun with Sagittarius and literally explaining how my mother-in-law, the Sag rising, with Mars on the ascendant right now in Sag, she's going to Egypt next week. So it's quite literally. And it's actually the perfect time. She was supposed to go months ago and it didn't work out. And now she's going. And it works perfectly because being the Sag rising, having Mars in the ascendant, that's like going to explore foreign lands and cultures and go on adventures. And that's what she's going to do in Egypt. She's going to bring back some Egyptian bread for us.
Stuff it in my
She's
carry-on.
gonna put it in her carry-on, just a big loaf of pure bread. They don't put the chemicals in it out there, you guys, like we have here in our beautiful land of America. So let's get to the second house, right? So remember the first house, the eastern horizon, rising in the sky in the zodiac belt, was the constellation of Sagittarius. That's what gave all you guys who are watching Sagittarius rising. Well, that's the baby, the I am energy. When we get to the second house, we've got Capricorn, the toddler, family values, savings, assets, material items, your food, speech, right? The baby, goo goo gaga, the toddler trying to walk, your five senses, survival. But it's also, because the chart wraps around, like I always tell you, so the first house is 0, 12, 24, 36 years old, 48, 60, 72, 84, 96, 108, 120. Now, I will say this, because we're kind of in that 5D in the age of Aquarius, and we're really getting these downloads of the solar flares and ascending, we may be able to go past 120. I mean, if we could survive all the poisons and toxins, right? Because the aliens fused our telomeres. But I'm finding out from different people that could potentially, maybe not our generation, maybe my kids, they may have the potential to live past 120 years old. Okay. But the Capricorn second house, right? It's 1 year old. It's also 13 years old, right? 25 years old. So this is where you also earn money. The second house shows how you earn money. And it's like the first house is like the upper jaw to the crown chakra. The second house is like the face, but the lower jaw and the throat, right? Think of Taurus, the throat chakra. That's why it's food and speech. Capiche? It makes sense. Things you collect, material items, okay? So with Capricorn here, really nice because it's about building things, right? These Sag risings could be very mature as a little baby, very serious, very like, wanting to like build and climb and go on adventures. But it likes the, how can I explain? Because remember, Capricorn is a cardinal earth sign. So it initiates, but it wants to establish things. So Capricorn is usually about discipline, right? Stability, success. It's hardworking. Capricorn in the second house, Sag risings, you're going to work hard to earn your money, right? Not a terrible thing. Now, there can be some restrictions and delays, right? So your financial success, but anything that you initiate and you build, you're going to work hard and you're going to do well. Now, you guys can tell me in the chat if you have any planets here and stuff like that. Also, the father, the second, think of the first house coming from the mother, the womb, the mom, you're born. And the second house is like sort of more associated with the father, but it's the family, values, and savings. Your father, and this is literally for you, right? Your father was in the military. So Capricorn, working for the government, that's part of the military. So you can sometimes have Sag risings can come from military families or families in politics or even in the business world, okay? So you definitely want to look for that for the second house. Food, you may want stuff of the earth. So you might like your meat and your fruit, okay? But you're also going to enjoy like, something that's, I don't know, like classy. Like she likes antiques, right? You like, collecting like things and stuff like that. Yeah, vintage. And that's associated with the Capricorn, right? Because Capricorn, Saturn, you guys, it's like the bones, the lineage, the DNA, so there's things to that. Now, we'll get back to the comments in the chat in a second. Let's just go to the third house because this is where she has her son. She's in Aquarius. So the third house, well, you're not the toddler anymore. Now you're off to elementary school. Your skills, you're reading, you're writing, you're learning, right? You're like, you're playing sports in school, kickball, dodgeball, basketball, volleyball, swimming. So it's athletic ability, your skills, your competitive nature. It's your local community. Oh, you have siblings, you have cousins, you have a neighborhood. Nowadays, you have social media, your local friends, right? And it's usually the third house in astrology, you guys, is the younger sibling. The 11th house is the older sibling. So the third house is the younger sibling. And what's fascinating about the third house, though, it's also all of your like communication. So you could see here, not just your writing, but you could see like if you're at work, if you're a journalist, right? News reporter, sales, marketing, all those things for communicating in social media. You can be an influencer. So Aquarius here, sometimes Sag risings can have half brothers or step siblings, or sometimes they can have unique ways of traveling, right? They could, maybe they got to like walk far to school for grade school, or maybe, their parents take them on a weird bike or scooter, right? Because remember, the third house is also transportation. So nowadays, this is like Uber, but she's got an electric bike, right?
Yeah, a little one.
Yeah. Now she likes to pedal, but sometimes she'll use her electric bike.
I use the assist.
Yeah. And so that's very Aquarian in the third house. Now, also, remember I told you this becomes 26 and 38 years old. So this becomes the adult relationship with your mother as well. Aquarius in the third house. What sign was your mom?
She's a Sag.
Oh, she was a Sag.
Yeah.
So now see, this
December
doesn't.
9th.
Oh, wow. Okay, so this isn't literal, but it is for her. She is a Sag rising born from the Sag mother. So look at that. So her mom gave her the Sag ascendant. And sometimes, you guys, when I'm looking at family charts, you can see placements like that line up, right? Like my wife is a Sag moon, and our second son, the Truth, he's got Sagittarius in his fourth house. He's the Virgo rising. And that represents the moon, the home, the mother. So it's very literal, right? Like my 11th house is Virgo. Virgo's 11th house can represent stepchildren. My oldest son, my stepson, is a Virgo. See how that works? So there's just certain things in the chart where it's like preordained and written. So let's go to the chat, see what people are saying, and then we'll move on.
Okay. Knowing.
Hey, Knowing.
Hi. His dad is military. Spot on. He can live off meat and fruit alone. Wow. My son loves timeless family pieces. The meaning holds a lot of weight for him.
Yeah.
You are spot on, E.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Rose that's right. Her son's a Sag rising. Oh, hey, Rose. How you doing?
Aquarius sun, Aquarius rising, and Cancer moon.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Well, Aquarius season, Rose, you better hit me up for that birth chart sale. But and I hope you guys had a wonderful holiday. Enjoyed your Thanksgiving, aka Thanksgiving. But I hope you had a good one. But see that Aquarius third house, you guys, and you see the Capricorn with knowing sun is a Sag rising. It can be very literal like that, and that's cool. So you're saying your son he likes the fruit and the meat. That's cool.
I eat a lot of fruit.
Yeah, she's the fruit and meat girl. Okay.
I'm the carnivore of the house.
Yeah. And so that, a lot of times in the birth chart, you guys, the second and the sixth house can really explain some of your dietary needs and desires. So we'll get there for the Sag rising with the sixth house. But what is it again? It's another earth sign. So that's an indicator of the meat and the fruit, right? Things from the land, okay, or close to the land. So now the fourth house, right? You Sag risings, we're getting into your home. This is your emotional mind, middle school, 6th, 7th, 8th grade, childhood home, adult home, retirement home, right? It's your mother, how you were nurtured and cared for as a child, your conveniences, that you have a nice fridge, a big car. This is your roots, your ancestors through the mother's lineage. So like your grandma. You remember what sign your grandma was?
No.
No? Okay. That's all right. But you know what I mean? So you can see things like that in the fourth house, but also more importantly, the fourth house can represent your hometown and your homeland. And you can see buildings and structures, dwellings that you go to, right? For example, YMCA, Boys and Girls, right? Dance class, after school programs, all those things, churches you could see in the fourth house. So you have Pisces there. So Pisces for the Sag rising, Well, sometimes it can show in the home, it could be more of a spiritual home. Sometimes there could be maybe one of your parents was an alcoholic, did some drinking.
Mm-mm.
You can have sometimes some deception or confusion,
Mm.
or it can be very dreamy, a lot of play and pretend, like a fantasy. But there could be a lot of music in a home. You may actually live near water. And for a lot of Sag risings, right? And this is something I have to recommend to her that's good, right? Like if you don't live near water, you should get a water feature, right? And you get it at Home Depot, Better Homes and Gardens, Costco, whatever. Just get a little water feature because the flow of seeing and hearing running water when you've got Pisces in the fourth or even the sixth house, it can be very calming and soothing and also help your creativity. And listening to music. She likes to listen to music a lot.
Mhm.
And that's very important
Jazz.
in your home. Yeah, she likes the jazz. And Pisces, that also, because like she's a very talented artist. Like Pisces in the fourth house, that's film, photography, poetry. It's creativity and imagination. So that's part of your emotional mind. So these are things that for a Sag rising can be emotionally pleasing. They may even like some of them may like watching a lot of movies or the video games. Okay, because I know, knowing your son, he likes to play the video games and likes different movies and stuff. And so you could see that with the Pisces fourth house, and you could have he has literally for you, he has a spiritual mom, right? So that's the Pisces fourth house. Now in middle school, like, did you like to swim growing up or in middle school or anything?
Mm-mm.
No. Did you play any instruments or do anything creative in middle school?
I was it was in high school. I was a twirler,
Twirler.
baton twirler.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
Um,
Baton twirler. Okay.
yeah.
And then it gets into the fifth house, right? So now we're getting into the high school years. So the fifth house, you guys, this is your creativity, your heart chakra, hobbies, children, very literally children, and literally like more so the first child. It's what you also have here is dating, romance, fun sex, high school, college years, right? We all remember those. It's past life karmas, ancient history. You learn that in high school and college. It's political discussion and debate, not the politician, just talking about it. Gambling, fantasy sports, speculative gains. So starting your own business, eBay, Etsy. It could be an acting career, being a flautist, piano, like whatever it is, right? Modeling, anything. But it's also things that are coming from your heart that you give birth to. So it doesn't literally, because not everybody has children, so it doesn't have to be children, but things that you give birth to. Okay, so with Aries here, Sag rising, you guys can initiate relationships. You guys may like to, initiate, a little connection with a boyfriend or a girlfriend. You guys can be very pure because Aries. See, one thing I love about the Aries, you guys, it can be accident prone. So sometimes you could have some accidents in high school, college, but it is very direct. But it's an initiator. It's a cardinal fire sign, the spark. So Aries is like the childhood genius, the pioneer maverick. They just head first go into everything, right? The ram can't see too good, so it finds its way in space by banging the ram head things into it, right? And so. And I've actually met some Sag risings who sometimes they can have a head injury in high school and college, or even go through sometimes headaches, migraine headache, or things like that. They're stressing with term papers and working too hard. Sometimes they can go through that, but they love adventures. Okay. So a lot of Sag risings, high school and college, they're moving and grooving. They're doing new things. They want to be the maverick and be unique and different. It's really a childlike energy. They can be very whimsical and just pure-hearted and fun, right? And Aries, like if they step on your toes, it's just because you were in their way and they were just moving. Like they didn't mean to. You know what I mean? Like they really don't have like a mean bone in their body. Okay, I had an Aries dad. They're very pure, and I got a lot of good Aries friends. So that's the fifth house. Well, let's go back to the chat before we get to the sixth house.
Okay. Evelyn Taurus again. I have a friend who is Sag rising with a Cancer sun. I'm the opposite, Cancer rising with a Sag sun.
Oh, yeah.
And we were friends since high school, but we're they're not talking right now.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Ev. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the moon's in Cancer now, so maybe you can try to rekindle the friendship. You know, maybe make her. It's getting cold on the East Coast. Make her a big bowl of soup and rekindle the friendship. You know, remember, you guys. Right now, we have the South Node in Libra, and so sometimes this can separate us from relationships, partners, and marriage, especially if it's not for our highest and greatest good. But it also can bring back things from the past, or karmically people from past lives energy, where, you know, if it's spiritually meant to be, sometimes it can be rekindled because Venus is conjunct the South Node today. So this is a very interesting day for even thinking of an old love, or, you know, speaking to someone from your past, or just trying to make yourself feel beautiful, like just dressing up just to dress up, you know, aesthetically feeling and looking beautiful. That's the whole Libra Venus energy. Okay. So be mindful of that. And, you know, the moon was sextiling Jupiter today in Taurus. So this is like a good day for like some comfort food, some warm soup. And I'm getting hungry because I don't know what wife is making me for dinner. I'm just thinking about it, getting hungry. But you know what I mean? Like, so, but it's like one of those like home garden days, you know, like something, you know, and even I know I felt very good today. I'd spent some time at my tree grounding in nature. I mean, I do it pretty much every day, but today I know it just felt, it felt good, the sun and the crisp air, you know, so things like that. But,
I don't know
go
how
ahead.
knowing said my son has a head injury at birth, so spot on.
Oh, wow.
That went over there though.
Oh, okay. I can bring it
know
up.
how I did that.
Yeah, no, I can bring it up. Or
Yeah, it's I don't know.
okay,
why.
everything's fine.
And Evelyn's agreeing. Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
I don't know. Are there any other comments before that I
No.
missed? Okay, all right.
I don't think so.
All right, cool. So yeah, so that's cool. The Aries energy in the fifth house, definitely. So now, what do we do after the fifth house? Get your butt a job and get to work. The sixth house is the house of champions. Now, remember in astrology, the third, sixth, and 11th house and the 10th house, they get better over time. The sixth house is our work, our coworkers, our bosses, debt, conflicts, divorce, our daily routine, right? Going to the gym, the post office, going shopping, the bank, all running those errands. That's the sixth house. And it's also health, hygiene, right? Because when you go to work, you got to get up, hit the alarm clock, you got to shower, deodorant, brush your teeth. Maybe you're using Sabale Pure products, so you got on the right stuff and you smell good and you're healthy, right? But that daily routine and health and hygiene, but it's also sicknesses and illnesses, and it's your mother's siblings, so your aunt and uncle from the mom side, and small pets. Okay, so the sixth house is pretty important. Now, did you have any small pets?
Oh,
Growing up, or even
yeah.
when you got your first place?
Dogs, cats,
Dogs,
snake.
cats.
I had a snake.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Turtles, fish.
Yeah.
You name it. I was bringing home caterpillars.
Oh,
and little
and see, and that's it. You see what she said? Sagittarius rising. I was bringing home from nature, right, to the Taurus sixth house.
Always bringing
stuff home.
In.
And now she's taken over and taking care of the twins, tortoises. They don't take care of them. She does. And she, you know, she loves them. Yeah. And Speedy and Scully are so happy. They're like, oh, thank God for grandma. You know what I mean? So that's an example. So when you have Taurus here, and I always remind her of this, right? You got to not, you Sag risings, you know, I know you. Do not drive fast. Taurus in the sixth house with Uranus there until 2025, 2026. That's sudden events. Can be a sudden accident, just driving around, running your errands or going to work. So just, if you want to speed up, wait to 2026. Okay. It's just, please, Sag risings, drive slow for a while. It's to your benefit, I promise. But you also have Jupiter there. And so this is a time too to focus on exercise, going for walks in nature, grounding in nature. Because remember, Jupiter rules the hips and thighs. I'm just talking about actually what's happening right now in the cosmos. But just in general, for Sag risings, they have to watch out for their throat, the throat chakra, and their lower teeth and their jaw. Okay, sometimes they can have issues with that. for, health and sicknesses and stuff. Did you ever get laryngitis and stuff?
Oh,
A lot? Yeah.
oh,
Yeah. And that happens with Sag risings.
pharyngitis
Yeah.
with the pharynx.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I mean, I've
Oh,
strep
wow.
throats all through my grade school years.
See, that happens a lot with Sag
lot.
risings. See, it's very literal, you guys. And then this will also show, like I said, the relationship with your aunt and uncle on your mom's side. Also, when it comes to work, okay, the Taurus, dealing with coworkers and bosses, you sometimes can, work doing something that's with caring and nurturing, landscaping, gardening, things around home, stuff like that. She was a nurse for years, so there's definitely that because Taurus does rule the body. So for her, that's kind of literal. But also there's that, there's this nostalgia type thing that Sag risings for work, they can be very into antiques, collecting things, but old school music, like old school fashion. You know what I mean? They can work in a bank. They could work at like a Home Depot, Better Homes and Gardens. They can get into service industry because the sixth house is also service. Okay, so they can work in a bank, but they can work, in the food industry, clothing. Taurus is linked with clothing and perfumes, so they can work in a perfume shop and things with jewelries and gems and crystals. So all those things. And actually, I think for Sag risings, it's probably important for them to collect or have some crystals, and you can look, connect it with your sun sign or rising sign, and have some crystals around you too, because that Taurus sixth house, that would be things would be pretty. Get your hands in the soil too. It's really good. So we'll get back to the chat. You guys can comment on the different houses. We'll get to the seventh house, and we'll go back to the chat. So the seventh house, this is an angular house. 1, 4, 7, and 10 are muy importante, but this is you in relation to the other half. So it's contracts, negotiations, right? When you go shopping, the marketplace, the scales of justice, the courthouse, right? Where we have the relationships, partnerships, and marriage. You have open enemies. These are the enemies you see them coming. This is the skills of the first child, and this would be the second child, right? So we went from the first child with the Aries energy, and then the second child could have more of the Gemini energy. And the skills of the first child would be the Gemini, communicating hands, right? So her daughter is definitely a talker, but she works with her hands, right? She makes organic and vegan body and skincare. So that's quite literal with the skills of the first child.
Very good.
Right? And so with Gemini here, Sag risings, you need a lot of communication in your marriage, in your relationships. You can be very busy in your community, like going to the grocery store and shopping and this and that. This one, she lives in Costco, right? So that's an example of knowing how to, and they know how to, like get a good price for things. That Gemini, because Gemini is like bite-sized, quick information. It's like, I'm going to go shopping. I'm going to go here, and then I'm going to go there, and then I'm going to get, this and that. Oh, Trader Joe's has this on sale. That's the Gemini seventh house. But when it comes to the marriage or long-term relationships, they need fun with their partner, humor, and they need like that constant feedback. Gemini likes to like chit chat, and they really like to go on a lot of short little trips with their partner. That's true. Yeah, because you and Hal used to like go everywhere. Yeah, used to go on a lot of used to go on a lot of little adventures all over. So that's an example, and you definitely, they need humor and communication in their partnerships. One thing I would say though, Gemini's got to watch out when you're dealing with the contracts and negotiations for the Sag risings. Make sure that you're reading the contracts in the small print, okay? Because with the Gemini, sometimes they're just like so quick moving and this and that, they don't read the small print, and then they can sign a contract for something that they, could regret later. All right. So let's go back to the chat for the people.
Now, I'm not sure if that's a J Germ the Magi?
Oh, okay. Yeah, the Magi. Yeah,
Magi?
what's up, Magi? What's going on?
But, and I'm not sure when this was, so it was a little while back.
Yeah, that's Germ, the Magi.
Doesn't this apply to Sag Sun too? Well, yeah.
Well, I mean, Sag Sun is different from the Ascendant. You know what I mean? Sag Sun, because your Sag Sun could be in any house. But we're looking at the whole 12 house zodiac wheel for the Sagittarius rising, you know. But if your sun is in the first house, then yeah, then this, all this still applies. You know what I mean? But how you doing, man? What's up, German the Magi?
And
Hope
then
everything's going good with you.
Cosmic energy. Cosmic energy.
Yeah.
Probably.
Hey, Cosmic Energy. Welcome back. How you doing?
So true. LOL.
Oh, yeah. No, it definitely. The Sag rising. You guys are great. You know what I mean? But now let's get to your house of intimacy. Behind the curtain. So what's the 8th house? This is after the marriage. Power, control, sex, manipulation, abuse, secrets, soul merging, right? This is other people's money, resources. You get married, you merge your resources. This is quite literally anything hidden underground. So herbs, plant medicine, right? Ancient oils like doTERRA, okay? She loves doTERRA, okay? Mm-hmm. And she knows all the oils and what's good with what.
I use a lot.
Yeah, but she knows it well. Like she knows, like, oh, if you got this, like when I came out of a coma and my shoulder was out of place, she would get the right oils. Oh, especially when I had the oh God, what's the thing the shingles? Oh my gosh. Oh, I was in so much pain, and she made up a remedy with her oils to help me. And trust,
I'll look it up if I'm not sure. I'll look it up.
Yeah, but it was so good because
it helps. It
you
really
guys,
does.
The shingles is no fun.
No,
and my shoulder was already out of place, and then I got the shingles like on the back, and yeah, that's how I started the new year for going into 2022. But it's all right, it's in the past. But I remember that. But that's Cancer. Nurturing, caring 8th house with the herbs and plant medicine. See how literal that is? The 8th house is also the funeral home, the mortuary. This is IRS, FBI, CIA, all the letter boys, the government, secret societies. Okay, this is Santeria, Brujeria, magic, tarot, numerology, the metaphysics, esoteric knowledge, astrology. Okay, human design. So the 8th house it's powerful. So having Cancer here, so it also can represent the in-laws. Now, I don't know if you would remember this, if any of your in-laws were literally Cancer, Sun, Moon, or Risings, but yeah, sometimes you guys can have a Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising in-law, or Cancer type careers where they could be good cooks or teachers or things like that, or banking or work in security, because Cancer is about safety and security. Cancer is also very funny. But just so you guys know, Sag rising, 8th house, Cancer, Sun, Moon, risings are sexually attracted to you. Doesn't mean that's who you should marry, but a Cancer, Sun, Moon, rising, they will be very sexually attracted to the Sagittarius Ascendant. That's what the 8th house is, okay? So just be mindful of that 8th house energy. And you can really be connected to the herbs and plant medicine. That's really good for the Sagittarius risings. And you may nurture and care for your partner in a marriage. You can be very nurturing and caring and supportive. Because remember, but Cancer's slow to trust, right? Remember, the crab moves sideways because it's all soft and mushy on the inside. It has that hard outer shell. But they're very sensitive and emotional. Okay. But remember, the 8th house is emergency, sudden events, and it's the death and rebirth, transformation, transmutation. It's that thin veil between the physical realm and the spiritual realm. So the 8th house is like a portal. And to be honest with you, right, because she worked in the hospitals, Sag risings, you guys can be doulas, midwives, death doulas, right? You help people in the hospital, and you did dialysis, right? Okay, so that's very much an 8th house thing. So see how See how literal this thing can be? That's why I knew I had to have her with me tonight. She's got a smart son-in-law.
It's
But
true.
but the ninth
True.
house for the Sag rising. Now we get to the Leo, right? The grand fire trine. Sag, Aries, Leo. 159. So the ninth house. This is your father's teachings. This is your wisdom, beliefs, philosophy, the law. Teacher, preacher, professors, the guru, the shaman, your master's PhD. You can see your grandchildren. Oh my God, very literal. She's got Leo grand twins
Oh, yeah.
and her
Intense.
very intense. They have an eighth house son. I mean, come on. But she also has, peep this, her first grandson has a Leo North Node. Her second grandson has a Leo South Node. And then the Leo twins. I just thought about this right now, you guys. I never even put this together before. That's what's so deep about astrology. If you sit with a chart and just figure and play over time, and I'm not lying, I swear, I never even, and I've looked at her chart plenty of times, but I never even, but I realized the ninth house is where you can see your grandchildren and look at that 4 different placements with that Leo. That's very literal, okay? But the ninth house is also publishing. It's foreign lands, usually a pilgrimage, going on a vacation 50 miles or further from home. Sometimes you could see them moving. But also it's, even just appreciating different cultures. Now, for her, this is going to bug you out. See how I have a great memory. I remember everything. Her second husband, she had a Virgo husband, but her second husband was a Leo. Ninth house, second marriage, Leo.
Funny too.
Isn't that Leo?
Funny guy.
Yeah, funny guy. And that's literal. Okay. And then the third is a Libra, is in the third house, in the 11th house, but another Virgo.
Mm-hmm.
So she did Virgo, Leo,
2
Virgo.
Virgos.
Yeah. So, but you see how the second marriage was literally the Leo. Okay. And oh my God, married him and then moved from Long Island to California. That's ninth house, 50 miles or further away from home.
Mm-hmm.
So that's
much farther.
Yeah, much farther. But you see how literal that is, you guys? So for you guys, the Sag risings, and we're going to get back to the chat, that Leo ninth house, this is where you want to be on the high vibration of the Leo, right? Because you're going to be the regal king and queen, but you want to be generous and vibrate from the heart chakra with the Leo energy, right? You don't want to be like prideful and stubborn when you're traveling. You want to be open and bring your heart in it, and but also when you're connecting to your gurus, right? You want to make sure, check with your heart chakra, right? Or any of your teachers and professors, or you're listening. Oh, and another placement. Leo, right? The father's teachings. The father worked in the military. Leo's associated with the government.
Pilot.
Like the Capricorn. Yeah. Okay. So that's quite literal because her Aquarius sun, third house, opposing the Leo ninth house, the pilot working for the military. Aquarius to Leo. See? She's getting a little birth chart reading while we're here live. See how double entendre that works? So let's go to the chart. Ninth house, Leo. Any more questions and comments, you guys? And it's good to see like people I haven't seen in a while, Cosmic Energy and Germ the Magi and Rose. Thank you for coming, you guys. I appreciate you guys. And of course, the regulars, Knowing and Evelyn,
Magi is saying how how's it all been, man? It's been a while.
Yeah.
Looking and sounding good, man.
I listen. Thank you, bro. I feel good and just alive and well. Alive and well.
Evelyn Torres's mom-in-law. What is your son? Oh, my son. I'm an Aquarius.
Yeah, she's
0 degree Aquarius.
Yeah.
And Evelyn, again, okay, Aquarius. Reflection. Do you know reflection?
No, hi Reflection. Welcome.
Hi.
Eric. Oh, and anybody new besides Reflection, but just anybody, if you want, come and share your sun, moon, and rising, your big 3. But nice to meet you, Eric Taylor. Pleasure.
Reflection has a Sag rising.
Oh.
I enjoy reading, studying philosophy, spirituality, and I'm a naturopath practitioner. I
love
Are
it.
you single? I strive to be inspiring to others. Oh, great. Very good.
That's good reflection. Hey, Sagittarius birth chart sale, email me,
Mhm.
BigEAstrology@gmail.com. But that's great. I mean, and that is very much a Sag rising thing. And if you're a naturopath, then you're activating that Cancer 8th house. Definitely. Good job. That's awesome.
Mhm.
And let me know your sun and moon too, reflection. Okay. Anybody else?
Not yet.
Okay. That's really awesome. So the 10th house and cosmic energy, I forgot your big three. If you want to share it again, you can. But yeah. Sag rising 10th house. Well, now we get to Virgo. 10th house. Now remember, the midheaven could be in the 9th, 10th, or 11th. I'm a Western tropical astrologer. I use the whole sign system. I believe it's more ancient and more accurate. I'm not hating on Vedic or the Placidus. It's just that when you have to do timing techniques and you're doing more predictive astrology, even the astrologers that use the Placidus, they go to the whole sign because that's the way you do it. Okay. And remember, we have access to all 12 signs. So I don't like interceptions. That's not accurate. There's no energy that you can't access. So you have all 12 signs in all 12 houses. Okay.
Reflections of Leo, Sun, Capricorn, Moon.
Oh, get out of here.
Capricorn.
Leo sun in the 9th house, Capricorn moon in the 2nd house. Okay. I like that. Definitely. Okay. Cap moon, 2nd house. Okay. That's good. So
Sag rising.
And I'm a Cap moon. So we're in good company. Reflection. Cap moon. I already know you work hard. Cap moons, I'm a workaholic. I would petition God to see if we could have a 30-hour day so I could work for 24 hours. Oh my God. Every night when I hit the bed, I'm exhausted. And I always think of like, oh, I could have done this today too. And I could have done that. And you know what I mean? I just never find enough hours. But I'm learning to make sure, and I want to say this to you, Reflection, and all you guys. You gotta, I don't care if you work a 9 to 5, you have your own business, whatever it is, you still have got to find time to build up your spiritual man and to take care of your physical body. So every day I do some stretching or lifting weights, I do grounding and earthing, I do cold showers, I meditate. Because if I didn't, I would be a mess and I would go crazy. You know what I mean? So it's something that is really important good now, especially to 2026, Saturn and Pisces, spiritual discipline and routines, healthy boundaries. No, don't allow any energy vampires in your life. But just in general, even after 2026, please implement something in your life, okay? So, but definitely that's for you, Reflection, the Cat Moon, because I already know. And Cat Moons will be like music too a lot. Go ahead.
Cosmic energy is Virgo Sun.
Oh, yes.
Virgo Moon in Sag rising.
Oh, okay. So cosmic energy. Hey, I hope I hear from you. Sagittarius birth chart.
Right in with your
and you got the Virgo. I like that. So, well, here we are in your 10th house. Okay, so the 10th house for the Sag rising, the Virgo. Now, remember, I said the midheaven could be 9th, 10th, or 11th. If the midheaven is in the 9th or the 11th, you guys, you merge the two. So you would merge the Leo with the Virgo, or you merge the Libra with the Virgo. The 10th house by itself, let's just pretend the midheaven is here. So that would be the career. It's the legacy, your public reputation, your public image, right? How you're known and seen in the world. The 10th house is literally, though, especially if the midheaven's in the 9th or 11th, the 10th house is your workplace and the work environment. You know, even when you leave your office and go to lunch, the whole work environment, the office, the politics in office, all that is 10th house and kind of overlaps a little bit into the 6th house, because 6th house is the relationship with the coworkers and the boss. 10th house is more about the work you're doing. Work. Let me say, work. So you got Virgo there. So that's quite literally, for Sag risings, right? You can work in the medical field. Remember I said she was the nurse? That's the Virgo 10th house. Okay. But remember, Virgo is what? The mutable earth sign, the wheat and the medicine, being grounded in nature. Virgo is very precise, analytical, logical, critical. The perfectionist. That's the low vibration. You don't want to be the perfectionist. Nobody's perfect. But Virgo in the 10th house, your legacy is something of being of service to humanity. You know what I mean? Remember, Virgo Pisces is that health access. You know what I mean? So it it does make sense that a lot of Sagittariuses get into the teaching or the health or different things like that, modalities, right? Because they're coming from the Pisces fourth house of home and then going to the public career image workplace Virgo, right? So there's that polarity there, right? And that duality. So you also, the mutable earth sign, they can be very good at analyzing, assessing things for work. So Sag risings, because Sagittarius, you guys, if you don't know, Sag, Taurus, Virgo, all very good for accounting. So like doing IRS taxes, accounting, or any type of data analysis. Sag risings can also be good at astrology, right? The Virgo 10th house. But you know what I mean? But they're really, when they go out in public, they're always kind of like, they're calculating, they're analyzing and assessing things. Okay. And there is this, there is the relationship sometimes with dad. That's where they can sometimes, not run, I don't want to say run into issues, but depending on what planets are here, you can be very critical of dad, or dad could be very critical of you, right? Or the relationship, dad is always instructing you or analyzing and telling you, you got to do this, you should be doing that, do that, right? So that can happen too. All right. So that's the 10th house. Now the 11th house, and then we'll get back to some of the comments in the chat. 11th house, right? This is another house that gets better over time, right? And remember, if your sun is in the 10th house, that's sort of like Saturn's house. That's between 12 and 2, right? Each house is like 2 hours. So the sun here will face obstacles, but it's going to overcome it. So you will achieve the status and success that you desire. Now, the wealth, the 11th house is the hopes, the dreams, the Bugatti, the mansion. It's philanthropic work, nonprofit. It's wild, exotic animals, right? Remember 6th house, we had the pets. She had the caterpillar, her dogs and cats. Well, the 11th house, that's more the wild, exotic animals, right? She wanted to buy an orangutan last week. And I was like, no, Ma, that's too much. That's too much, Ma. Okay. So there's an example of the 11th house, right? She's like, but he's so cute, right? Libra, see, Libra, South Node, Venus there. She's like, he's so cute. I was like, no. No orangutans in the house. So, but the 11th house is astrology, aliens, UFOs. It's your father's younger siblings, most times literally the father's brother. It's your older siblings. It's your groups and organizations you may join over in real life in person or over the internet. It's the politician, the political run. It's long-term investments in the stock market. It's stepchildren. And it's also, I said your older sibling, but it's also, oh my God. Oh, so this is where you can be like the environmentalist, where you like she did Habitat for Humanity. That's the 11th house.
Big time.
Yeah. And so that right there, see, that's where you get into the philanthropic, nonprofit, environmental stuff.
We started a thrift store for Habitat up in the foothills
in
Colorado.
So, and that's Libra, right? So Libra in the 11th house is kind of social, right? It's like connecting with the relationships and the partnerships. And sometimes Sag can sometimes meet somebody, right, over the internet, right? Nowadays, right? That wasn't, during her time, but she could still get on the internet and meet somebody now. Mm-hmm. So, but it's also groups, right? You go to meetup groups, different things, right? Go to a church event. So the 11th house, but remember the social network. The only thing you got to watch out is Libra, Sun, Moon risings for the Sag rising. You got to watch out for any like Libra fake friends, because right now the South Node is there and Venus. So for Sag risings, if any relationships or friendships are not really, Libra is the scales. It's never balanced, but it's seeking the balance. But you want it to be harmonious and peaceful. So just watch out for the friends who are kind of like, not so supportive. Because this is also for your career, these are the people that sometimes will support you. So this is where you can do good networking. And that's where Sag risings, they can be really good at networking, because the Libra is like what? Harmonious and peaceful and very social. And Libras know how to charm people, right? She's very charming in public, and she's always meeting people and talking to this one and that one.
Well, that's true.
And that's what the Libra 11th house can represent. Okay. And so let's go to chat before we get to the 12th house.
Miko?
Yeah, Miko. Hey, Miko, how you doing?
Hey, everybody. Hand pink waving. Evelyn Torres said she does her own taxes.
Oh, there you go,
Evelyn
Ev.
Torres, same like Sag Sun.
Okay.
And Germ the Magi, my son is in the 10th house.
Oh, okay. That's good. Yeah. And you will, being very detailed and precise with the creativity and the music and the work you do, you know what I mean? The sun, it will overcome any obstacles in the 10th house. Okay. So that's cool.
Miko's saying just, hey.
Yeah. What's up, Miko? Hey, listen, Miko and all you guys, Cosmic and you guys got to come to Coffee Talk. So, okay, peep this. The next 2 Coffee Talks are going to be off the Chisane. December 16th, Saturday, 1 p.m. Eastern. My 11th house crew, my astrology community. I'm going to be teaching a lesson, and we're going to be looking at the birth chart of Election Day, November 5th, 2024. Oh, we might not have one.
Scary.
But if we do, I'm going to break it down, and I may tell you whether or not we won't have one, because we're going to look at that chart. So Coffee Talk, $20, 1 p.m. Eastern to 3 p.m., Saturday, December 16th.
That should be really good.
It is going to be good. And then Coffee Talk 20, that's 23. Coffee Talk 24, before I start my 3rd year of Coffee Talk in February. Coffee Talk number 24, January 20th, day before her birthday, Saturday, 12 p.m. Eastern, 12 noon. 9 a.m. Pacific. We are going to look at the Jupiter-Uranus conjunction in Taurus in April of 2024. I don't have the exact date yet, but it's coming up in April of 2024. That is powerful God source, manifesting energy. I mean, all of it. And it's in Taurus for our finances. You don't want to miss that one either. All right, so I'm just letting y'all know, Miko and Cosmic and Germ and Reflections and Knowing. Evelyn be coming. We haven't seen her in a while, but Evelyn's busy, so that's cool. But yeah. So, okay, let's go. Oh, any other comments besides Miko? Okay. Now the 12th house. Now we're at the what? End of the road. Bum, bum, bum. I'm not going to sing because, my wife would be teasing me if she was here because, I'm a lyrical bringer and a stinger, not a singer.
He's a singer too.
Yeah. Sometimes I can sing. I could sing in high school, you guys, before the bass came in. I just didn't really adjust with the bass, but that's all right. So the 12th house. You know what this is for you guys. This is the loss of energy, the loss of debt, self-undoing, end of the road. Things dissolve in the 12th house. And let me just say this. No astrologer should ever predict or tell you when someone's going to die. Run away. They're crazy. But through transits in the 12th house, you can see the end of your life. The 4th house, you can see the end of your mother's life. And the 8th house, the end of your father's life. Okay? Just so you're aware. Now, the 12th house, Scorpio, it's, like I said, loss of debt, loss of energy. It's hidden talents, hidden enemies. It's bed pleasures for sleeping and also for sex. It's foreign lands, moving abroad, but import-export, doing business overseas, right? The 12th house is the subconscious and unconscious mind, dreams, fantasies, hidden talents, and the hidden enemies. It could be Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, hidden enemies. It's also isolation, right? Jails, prisons, hospitals, ashrams, monasteries, the psych ward, but it could be spiritual retreats, charity. It's also where you could see overspending. Okay. So the 12th house is deep. It's a lot. And think of the last 5 degrees as like being back in the mother's womb. Okay. That's the cusp of revolution, Scorpio, Sag cusp. So let's talk about a few Sag risings. Your hidden talent, the health. Scorpio is the health stuff, right? Dealing with elimination organs, dealing with manifesting, dealing with the occult knowledge, right? All that Scorpio stuff. So that's the hidden talent. And being kind of empathic, Okay. She's very sensitive to energies. Okay. And Sag risings, that 12th house Scorpio, it's really kind of deep because whatever's in your 12th house, if you guys have any planets there, let me know. You need to bring that out and share it with the rest of the chart. That Scorpio energy, you need to reveal it. And also sometimes reveal it to yourself because it could be very hidden. It could be things that are in your subconscious and unconscious mind that you're not aware of, that you have to reprogram. Right? We're all born into this matrix and we have the programming from what? Our parents, the school system, the media, the magazines, the social media now, the technology, going to college, high school, right? The fact that we were born into a society that green is go and red is stop. We didn't choose that. That's what we were born into. The political system, the government, the financial structures. All these are programs. And so what you have to do is take what's good, which is very little, maybe 15 to 20% if you're lucky, but then you have to be intentional in programming you what you really want, how you want to manifest, how you want to vibrate in your soul here on earth, okay? Not what you were told by mom or dad or told by your fourth grade teacher. That's hogwash. You have to figure it out for yourself. So that's part of the process of, unlearning and then reestablishing who you are and your own identity, right? That self-love and all that stuff. So with Scorpio here, you may like the intimacy in the bedroom. It could be very intense and soul merging. You can be very private with your emotions. You know what I mean? You can, like when you're alone in your bedroom at night and stuff, you may contemplate and be empathic and visualize and see things but Scorpio can have intense emotions, so what happens is with the Leo and Sag risings, sometimes you guys don't want people to see your emotions in private because they can be Cancer and Scorpio 12th house. It can be pretty intense emotionally. Okay. So just be mindful of that. But you also are very magnetic. And so that you have to be part of your hidden talent. You have to reveal that to the public and bring that out. Okay. Also, people who don't give the Scorpio energy credit for it, it's really good for healing. So a lot of Sag risings, whether you're the naturopath or the nurse or the doctor or this or that, a lot of Sag risings, they can also be, quite honestly, they can be good into the Reiki, massage therapy.
I was a massage therapist.
They
Studied for a year in New York.
Literal.
Years ago.
But all the healing modalities, and they can be actually really good counselors or therapists. Remember the Scorpio energy, it can perceive things that are unspoken in the spiritual realm. So you Pluto Scorpio generations here, you got a lot of work to do, but you can be very powerful, magnetic, and transformative healers. Okay. You have Venus here. You could be a great writer, romance and fantasies. You have Mercury and Sun here for Sag rising, Scorpio, Sun, Mercury. You could be like a serious private investigator, a detective. The ones that like catch the spouses cheating on the other spouse. Yeah, you could do that. Or you could just be like
that could be dangerous.
Yeah, but you could be a great like therapist, a psychiatrist. Okay. So there's a lot of interesting things, but also you could work with the MRI and the X-ray machines in the hospital. Dialysis. There you go. Scorpio 12th house. You could do CAT scans, CT scans, all that stuff. So, this is definitely a powerful energy, but this with the Sag risings, you want to make sure, you can control your dream life. You can astral travel. You can get into all that type of stuff. And you can get emotionally attached to foreign lands, She may go to Egypt and be like, you know what, guys, I love you, but I'm moving to Egypt. I love it. I met a prince. And we're gonna live, like 2 blocks away from a pyramid. But you know what I mean? But you can have like these emotional, intense, transformative experiences in foreign lands.
Come on over. I'll show you my hieroglyphics.
Oh, see?
What can I say?
She's getting into the hieroglyphics now. You got to watch out.
Gotta watch those guys.
So, Sag Rising, I love you guys. You're great. We learned a lot tonight, right? She shared a lot. So we got the living experience of the Sag Rising. You saw how that 9th house was very literal. All 4 of her grandchildren, South, North Node, and Sun. I mean, you can't make that up. And
and my brother was a Leo.
See, younger. He was younger.
He was 2.5 years older.
Oh, older. Okay, so 11th house, Libra. Okay, yeah. So you can see a lot of literal things. But that second marriage, Sag Rising Leo, that was literal for her. So, but any last questions or comments? Let's go to that, and then
I think it was knowing that said, yeah. I'm because I can't see the top of it.
Okay, I can bring it down.
Message. Oh, I see. Yeah, it was knowing. I paid for the last coffee talk and still need to listen to the replay. Can't wait to hear more about this Pluto shift upon us.
Yeah, knowing.
Yeah.
Oh, you got to watch that knowing. That was a great coffee talk with Pluto Aquarius, November 19th. Remember, okay, go ahead.
But reflection is saying, I also have Sag in Pluto on the 11th, 12th house cusp.
Oh, okay.
And Rose Jefferson, Pluto in Scorpio, 12th house.
Yeah. Okay, Rose. Now, just make sure, Rose, you got to do that work because Pluto in the 12th house, it can create narcissists. So you got, like Mr. Trump, he's got Pluto 12th house. Okay, so that's the example I always go to. But you can also be extremely magnetic and very powerful spiritually. But you have to do the trinity of trust, right? Learn to surrender, let go, and let God. You can't control or have power dynamics over another human. It's about power and control of self, master self. I am, right? Get that God consciousness going. But Pluto 12th house, it can also make you a very magnetic person all over the world.
Cosmetic energy, Pluto in Scorpio, 11th house.
Okay.
Evelyn Torres, my friend, is a school counselor.
Oh, there you go. Now, wait a minute, Cosmic, you said you're Sag Rising. So, okay, the Scorpio's in the 12th house. Your 11th house is Libra. You're looking at the Placidus. Go to whole sign system. Go to astro.com, and then the default button, click the whole sign system and look at your chart. Or if you come to me and I read your chart, I'm going to look at it in whole sign system. It will change your life. I promise you. Okay. That Pluto Scorpio, if you're Sag Rising, is in the 12th house. Okay. Trust me.
Arwen Rivendell.
Hey, Arwen, how are you, stranger? What's going on, lady?
She said her daughter is 29 degrees Sag Rising.
Oh, cool.
Couple of hearts there.
Okay. And tell your daughter to reach out. Birth chart's there.
And Rose Jefferson. Okay.
I'm so glad a lot of you guys came back tonight. Wow, I didn't know. I guess Sag is pretty popular. So hopefully you guys are voting in the polls, the Sag questions I've been asking for all the Sag energy. And like I said, the Sagittarius birth chart sale goes to December 22nd. It's only $100 live over Zoom, 60 minutes. And remember, it doesn't have to be a natal birth chart. You may want a solar return chart. Be like, Eric, what's going to happen this year life for me? We can do that. Even if you're a Sag rising and your sun sign is like Cancer or Gemini, it doesn't matter. We could still look at the birth year, right, for the solar return, or secondary progression chart, right? You could be vibrating now if you're a Sag sun as a Cap or an Aquarius. Now, if you're, obviously the sales for all, but like, Sag, sun, moon, rising, but like you could be a Virgo sun. And maybe now you're vibrating as a Scorpio, or you could be a Libra sun and you're vibrating as a Sag, literally. So, but either way, that's a really good sale. It's normally $125 down to $100, and you get the recording, the PDF of your chart, and then you get a little write-up and videos of all your planetary placements, or the big shebang, a 40 to 50 minute custom video summary, which is literally a mini movie of your life. It's a service I'm very proud of. No other astrologer does this, none that I've heard of. And it's really cool. And then you get an audio transit recording of your current and future transits. I break down all the transits that are going on now and even, going into the future to 26, 27, all that stuff. for you. And then you also get videos of your planetary placements. That's normally $260. It's only $200. So the big shebang, you want to get that. And I promise, thank you for being patient with my rebranding, but email me directly right now at BigEAstrology@gmail.com. But she'll tell you, my wife and I are working on it like crazy. My wife is really working on it so much. My new website, it may be ready by Friday, but I'm so close. I'm at the last steps, just setting up the MailChimp for the newsletter. And then, all the making sure you could purchase online. But BigEAstrology, BigEAstrology.com. My prayers are by this first week of December, but it's coming soon. Okay. So thank you guys. This was fun. Happy birthday, Sagittarius. And for Sag Moon and Sag Rising, I wish you guys all the best, but definitely reach out if you want to take advantage of the birth chart sale. You won't regret it. It'll change your life forever. This is the map of your life. And I want to end this with this little visualization, because I got this download the other day, and I think it's really apropos, and it's very true and real. Just imagine when you are kind of before you're born, and you're up in heaven with God, and you're up there with the Creator, and you're thinking about what it is you need to learn in this life. And you're kind of like, oh, I need to have a tough mom so I understand, compassion and caring and nurturing. And you select that. And like, I had a wealthy family last time. I think I want to, come in a little poor, so I'm more humble, and I learned charity and gratitude and appreciation. You select that, and you're selecting these different karmic lessons. And then maybe you hit enter on the big screen or the motherboard, and God says, okay, off my son or off my daughter. And then you come through the portal of your mother's womb and you're born. Well, what you were doing up there in heaven, what you were selecting these lessons, that's the map of your life. You were selecting your birth chart. You just don't remember it. And so now you need to learn it so you can remember and experience and walk with the chart, so you can evolve your soul and learn these karmic lessons, so then you don't have to stay in this cycle of reincarnation in the Saturnian matrix bubble. That's why Saturn is associated with the 10th house, top of the chart, right? We live below the firmament in the Saturn matrix, but you don't have to keep coming back. So this birth chart, it's like a cheat code for you. You just don't remember, but you chose it. There's no victimhood in astrology. You chose your mom and dad. So thank them. These are lessons for you to learn. Mm-hmm. You had to learn through the pain of your Pluto, learn through the pain of your Chiron wound, your Lilith, evolve past it, break the social norms through your Uranus, spiritually evolve and grow through your Neptune, build those relationships through the Venus, be blessed and be optimistic through your Jupiter, initiate and go get it through your Mars, communicate, learn and listen through your Mercury, vibrate and be your true self and your life purpose through your Sun, tap into the emotional mind and your intuition, body, health, and family through your Moon, your mom, and the family you create. You get it? Saturn, these karmic lessons. There are no accidents. We chose this. So that means we're built for this. And if you're alive now, you've survived all this mess that's been going on, you're destined and meant to be here. We all have a greater purpose. Mm. So astrology, and if you do it with me, you'll be changed forever. So please hit your boy up, BigEAstrology@gmail.com. I love you guys. Thank you for coming on, Sagittarius Risings. This was fun. A lot of
thank yous here. And
yeah,
I don't know what you were suggesting before, but Cosmic Energy is saying, oh, you're right, just did it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Good. No, I was telling her with the whole sign system. Yeah.
Evelyn's.
Oh, you're welcome,
Taurus,
you guys.
Thank you. And knowing and reflection. Thank you. We'll, watch again.
All right. Yeah. So I'll try to come back on. I may come back on.
Said.
Thank you. I may come back on Saturday night, but really just meditate on that for a little bit tonight. Oh, and please do me a favor, like and share and subscribe and tell a friend and tell a friend. But after this is over and I say goodbye in like 20 seconds, do me a favor and just as the show gets posted live, gets posted up, please just take a second to comment. It really does help the show grow in the algorithms. And I'm just trying to grow and expand this channel. As my wife says, she's trying to get me to, she's like, forget 10,000. I want to get you to 1 million. But I really, you don't know. Like, I don't know any magical algorithms. All I know is hard work. And I appreciate you guys. And this was more than fun. And I'll probably be back Saturday night because, I got some more stuff to talk about.
He sounds hungry, and his wife's an excellent cook.
Oh my God, yeah. And so I'm the Scorpio rising. I got the Taurus in the 7th house with my Ceres goddess of harvest there, and my Juno, and my wife is the Taurus rising. And Saturn. So I karmically, and the 7th house represents your kitchen. So I karmically got the Taurus ascendant who knows how to cook and nurture and care for me.
Aww.
Good night, you guys.
She's a great cook.
All right. Bye, Sagittarius Rising. Episode 175, Knowledge is Love, Big E Astrology. Peace.